this today. Yeah, push me through to her. Come on, just patch me through. You know who this is. Agent 4779. Ma'am, had a couple questions. Yeah, and looks like they ran into Jerome Brashear, worked at the River Trust Banking Union. Same papers, ones from Celeste. These same ones we use. They didn't say anything about the Prometheus fire. Didn't ask them too many questions. So there's a hiccup. It's back. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Same iconography and everything. Do you want me to leave them on it? Are you sure they're capable? I mean, we can step in and... Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood. All right. This is gonna be fun. Oh, hello, boys.
Take us away.
Oh boy. Hi, Internet. Transitions are hard, and we missed a week. That being said, any housekeeping to do before we just jump right into this?
New YouTube video up today on the platform in which we are streaming.
Mm-hmm.
We have a discount code if people would like to purchase stuff off of the City of Mist website.
Which is really cool.
Can get that here. Discount code is FateOrChance. It's also in the chat.
Cool. Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Good, man. Doing
JD,
good.
how are you? Good.
I'm good.
Hi,
Dealing with the kids real quick.
Okay, well, that being said, yeah, y'all get back to the office. Y'all walk in and see Mr. Brown kind of leaning against the desk. He greets you. Hello, boys.
Hi. Dude, how do you get around so fast?
We all have our own talents.
Oh, you're one of us. One of us. One.
I assume he's just got something worked out with HR because he has to be inside Pam all the time.
Or is Pam inside him? Maybe Pam is in all of us. We are Pam, for Pam is many. I'll stop.
How high are you?
Anyway,
like I didn't see you smoke anything. I didn't see you eat anything. How the hell did you get this high?
So
Magic.
This card that you found,
this Joker card, right?
Problematic.
What is it? Like, I mean, I've read stuff, not to sound too cliche, you know, like the Joker. This was his calling card, like obviously Batman. But what is this? But this looks more demonic or satanic than fun and playful and mischievous.
Sure.
Oh boy.
Let's go with that. That makes things easier. Let's just go with that. Work with what you know. The same way that
put my
y'all's
feet up on the
abilities
disc. Looks like I'm taking the day off.
the same way that y'all have your own things, there are plenty of others, and just work with what you know. That being said, this hasn't happened in a while. This card showing up is a bad sign.
Who is it and what does it represent? What are we going to be dealing with?
Well, his name, his government records are Lester Selberg.
Lester Selberg? That sounds important. How do you spell his last name, sir?
Selburg.
What can you tell us about this?
ERG, URG.
Burg.
Like an iceberg.
No, it's ERG.
Is it?
He's URG.
I just can't spell. I spelled it right here, but apparently I just can't spell iceberg. Pay no attention to me, Dekard. I type on a computer. I have autocorrect.
Neither here nor there. You're not here for your spelling capabilities.
What do
Thanks.
what do you know
That
about
would be
him? Like,
Alphabet Man.
Oh, God. What a dick.
what if, hang on. Let's bake some noodles real quick. What if Mr. Rogers was actually like the friendly forest neighborhood kingdom thing was actually the positive influence, and now that he's gone, that's why the world's going to shit.
You're reading too much into this. Mr. Selberg was at one point awoken and has fully allowed himself to be taken over by his mythoi.
Like he is him kind of thing, like the embodiment of, or
Mr. Selberg has not been himself in many years.
oh, that's not good. That doesn't sound good. So what you're telling me is if you take what little we have and let's go ahead and up that a couple notches, that's what this dude is?
On a bad day.
I don't like the sound of that. What do his abilities derive from? What is his mythos? His
How about
mythoi,
this?
excuse me.
From
What-
what we can gather so far, we're at the minimum death.
Hey, Dekard, isn't this kind of like your wheelhouse?
No. I don't kill people?
From our research and from what we've seen, Mr. Dekard here is more of the ferryman.
Oh, okay. But all still part of the same essential family, because you would have death itself, the man that carried. I mean, yeah, I would be right and make that assessment. So is this guy like a reaper kind of dude? Like he touches people, they die kind of thing, or
No, that would be Mr. Dekard.
So this dude's the ferryman?
No.
All right, now I'm super confused. You're gonna have to explain that again.
Mr.
how
Dekard
about-
would be middle management.
Okay.
This guy would be the CEO.
Okay.
What are his abilities?
From what we know, offhand, chaos on a grand scale. Before my time, back many years ago, Mr. Selberg awoken, or was first awoken, late 1800s. Once he started testing things out and let himself go, you see World War One, you see World War Two.
So this guy's been
So-
around for a while.
Is he the one actually making the deals then, or is he the is that one of his minions?
We're not even sure if he's affiliated with the contracts, but he is collecting.
Interesting. Where's he getting the contracts from?
No, he's just collecting. He's not making.
We
them.
don't know.
And that's what you want us to find out?
We don't know how he's connected. We don't know how he's getting the information. We don't know any of it. This is not the first time this has come up. But it's just been a while.
So is he stepping on someone's toes? Are we looking that this is going to turn into a territory war?
We don't think. He's never seemed to have any larger, grandiose plans beyond just causing trouble. Doing all he can to further grow his influence and his power, and just shaping the world into where it suits him best. But not so much a thinking man as more just a force of nature at this point.
Now, when we're talking as far as what this dude's capable of, like, what is this something the likes we have not seen yet, or is he like us? Like,
He
Trump?
was.
If you were to make a comparison as far as what we're capable of and what this lesser dude's capable of, what would you say the gap between that is? So we know what we're dealing with here.
He's a 200-year-old orator who's made his profession telling stories since he was 20. And you're a bunch of babies learning how to talk.
So would you go as far as to say this dude's legendary? Or would you say he's a walking avatar / aberration of where he gets his power?
We're not sure. We're not sure how far it goes. We're not sure if Mr. Selberg is even in there anymore.
Oh shit, that doesn't sound good.
Our voids have been unable, in the couple of times where we have had contact, they are unable to stop him. So our people, you met one of them. I believe you met Billy. When you were unable to do your thing, doesn't work on him.
Billy, you're talking about the guy that kind of nullified me messing with stuff? That's the first time we heard his name. And this other guy can... Oh, wait. So Billy has no effect on this other dude?
No. We had him
But he
quartering once
should.
about 40 years ago, and we had Billy and 3 others, and all 4 of them were around him, and it had no effect.
Not to undermine what Billy's capable of, but how deep do those waters run? Is this the only person that he's had no effect on? The only being, I guess, not necessarily person, maybe?
The only one we've ever seen.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, not entirely. Because it didn't stop me from going all bone daddy on
Well, not technically, but they kind of touched on that when we asked them that same question. There's abilities, and then there's really kind of like a what is actually part of you thing, and that's why they said that didn't
what
drop
I'm saying
back.
is maybe he's transubstantiated. It's no longer an ability.
Himself, maybe he is this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way that you would look at an artifact. The artifact itself, separated from a user, does nothing, but it still has the power. It doesn't
like
matter if you nullify the person or not, the power is still there.
Kind of like that sword and shield pin.
Yeah, I pun over to him on the mantle.
No,
That poor kid.
those are cute.
Yeah, I don't need to explain to you what they're from. Common sense would say you're probably well aware, but I mean, it's cool that we keep these, right? Or do you need to put these somewhere?
No, they're fine. They have no powers.
All right. Well, I mean, let's just cut to the meat of the potato, man. What is it you want from us? What do you want us to do?
For now, just information.
Or just
gather
regarding this
what you
dude?
can, figure out, make some contacts, find any information you can as to far as to where he is, what his plans are, what anything that you could find, um, even just a list of if contacts or anything, some way to try to narrow down the hunt.
And
Does he have any aliases?
Yep.
We do have a good
Bonesaw?
Bonesaw's ready. We do have a contact that we would like you to talk to, and I would warn you that they were part of the organization.
Part of. I mean, well, I guess us now, like this MST group.
Yes.
Okay. So even Lester was part of it at one point, or just this other person?
Lester was not part of it.
Okay.
When we learned of Lester and went to locate him, he had already dipped too far.
Okay. What's this contact?
You're going to go find the person you're going to want to talk to is Tracy
Do you have a last name?
Brackner.
Brackner? Alright. Where are her last known whereabouts? Like, do you have a place of employment? Anything like that?
We do. Give me a second.
What's her shtick? Like, should we worry about her? What I don't know, slamming spikes through us just for showing up at the blue, or does she know we're coming?
She'll be fine. You don't have anything to worry about her.
Is she in neutral? Not special, like us.
She was a void.
Oh, interesting. So then, just from what we know, one would interpret as. So was she ever awakened, or?
As far as we know, no. She was born that way.
Interesting. Your boy Billy, I mean, kind of would be the same thing, but he can use it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as we found, every void is born that way.
Weird. So if you aren't awakened and you're a void, you nullify people that are around you. But once you come to adjust and accept and grow within yourself, you're still a void, but you can just control it. Is that right?
More of learning to walk. You're capable of it, but you have to build the muscles to be able to control it.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
8th Street in Culver House.
Is that
There's
her
a-
home, or?
There's a bar in a back alley.
Culver House? Colver
Culver House. Yeah.
I've been to my share of dive bars here and there, and 9 times out of 10, when there's a bar that's in an alley, it's hidden away from stuff like that. More often than not, people don't really want to let others in. Is that something that we can expect, or is this?
You'll be able to see. You'll know it when you see it. It's called the Beacon.
Beacon? Okay. I guess we can start there. Anything else that you feel might be of importance for us to either prepare for, maybe kiss our loved ones goodbye since we're about to be knee deep in shit?
Too soon.
Looks over at Dekard and is like, my bad, dude.
Pulls out the folder and kind of looks at it and goes, things didn't end well between us and her. You may not want to be affiliated with us.
So so I guess that makes sense. I mean, we can always pull off that we're still just RO, private investigators from Points of the Door, from URI. Or maybe, do you think that might even go as far as to be a bad idea?
I'm not sure.
Is that how you pronounce it? Yuri?
URI? URI? Yeah.
Shit, man, I was telling him what it was urine. I'm wondering why they're getting funny looks. I was like,
Well,
I didn't think
see,
it's a great name, but...
The funny thing is, man, like, I always wanted to put a networking on there, right? So it'd be URIN. But, I don't know, I thought it wouldn't have been appropriate.
Hey.
Regardless, good luck. He turns and starts walking out the door.
While he's walking out, I kind of want to keep an eye on him, just kind of focus on him. I want to see what he does.
Make a roll.
You want me to do an investigation?
Nah, just a generic roll.
Okay. A 5.
5+. As you are sitting there like, oh, okay, and you see him go out the door and shut the door, and you're like lean over and start looking through the window. You feel your chair start to like tilt a little bit, and you go, ooh, and you look up and he's gone.
God damn it, man. Dude, Dekard, I think this dude can teleport. I think that's tight.
What if you can just, like, change the physical properties of his body and go two-dimensional, you slides through things?
He just... Phew. I mean, walking around would be a son of a bitch.
I mean, only if you wanted it to be. During the Cape Moss, you're sliding through the... Push it real thin.
Did you just make a Family Guy reference?
I might have.
Oh,
Maybe
looks like you are a man of culture. Or not.
I mean, I've heard it both ways. So,
well, I guess
colder
we got
house.
something to go on. What do you how do you want to tackle this, man?
Looking into that last jackass, Jerome Bouchier.
Yeah.
And now the question is, how do we get to her? Because there's nothing, or maybe he had something in his apartment that led us to her.
I mean, that's a possibility.
How about this is our play? We're looking for Jerome Bouchier. Found the Joker car, and on the back of it had her name written on it with a bunch of question marks. So maybe he was gonna look into her, and then that's why we're here.
Do we still have the card?
Yeah.
We can make that happen now. But before we do that, I literally just go on YouTube. On YouTube. Yeah, I mean, YouTube, any type of search engine, whichever, it really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to do a search to see if there's reports of him being dead already.
Okay. Looking at the news, looking through everything, he's not listed anywhere. How deep do you want to dig?
Let's go. I kind of sit there for a minute and look at it. How long ago had it been in time-wise when we found the body?
Hour, maybe 2.
So, Dekard, in your line of work, man, when you was working with that 5-0, how long would it take for y'all to report a body and it to become part of media, roughly?
I mean, it all depends on circumstances. The more spectacular, the quicker it got out. Finding a dead body, that's unfortunate, but it didn't always make the news.
So, without digging too deep, I just did a quick search, and I'm not seeing any reports of the body even being found or anything just yet. So,
I mean, it's possible the cops haven't even shown up to the apartment yet.
so we can either play dumb
'Cause,
and do what you said and show up, and I can write her name on this card with question marks or whatever. I mean, I can just sketch that out. I mean, I'm not a terrible artist. How do we want to proceed if we do it that way?
just, hey, did you know this man, his name, Jerome Bashir, mean anything to you? If it doesn't, then we go, what about Lester Dick Cheese or whatever? Selberg.
I say,
So- And then we'll
while
be
I'm talking to
somehow
him,
they're tied together.
while I'm talking to him, float my hand over the keys, and kind of just like looking at Dekard. He sees like lines of code running through my eyes, and I'm gonna try to dig a little bit deeper on that search.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I want to see if there's been any more reports or any other reports of just random dead bodies with no explanation of things similar to how his body was found, because he was
Okay.
just dead. And see if there's any correlation between them. I'm gonna go tracking. I'm gonna go hacking and control. Are we putting caps on power tags?
No, it's fine for now.
No. Okay. $13.
Yeah, looking through, getting into the different databases, getting through into the police archives and everything else. There's nothing. You start noticing, you're like, okay, well, there's nothing on him. That just happened. Let me look into the this, because you think, well, same thing happened with the doctor. Same thing happened with the other people. I mean, you look into they're not listed. You can't find anything. You can't find birth certificates. You can't find places that they lived. You can't find phone records. They no longer exist.
So any of the bodies that we found from the fires or anything that we've come across, they've been gonzoed?
Correct.
So, Dekard, while I was talking to you, I decided I would do a little bit of recon. Everybody that we've come across in these cases, anybody that has passed away, anything that connects these people, all those, like even the little ghost boy Jimmy that we found, their entire existence is gone. They do not exist anymore.
Yeah, because in a world where shit's getting real weird, you probably don't want people asking questions.
And I can guarantee you that our boy Mr. Falling Through the Cracks over there is, and this agency are probably the reason why.
That's a bet. Ooh, can we give him a Native American name? Call him Cracks and Ass.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't like that too much.
Cracks and Butt.
I think Dick Cheese worked.
But I mean that I was calling Selberg Dick Cheese, but
Wait, which one are we talking about? I thought that's what we were talking about.
The Agent Brown. But we gotta.
Oh, you want to give him a nickname?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to. It was just an idea.
I mean, that's why I called him Mr. Fall Through the Cracks. But I think in order for one to acquire a nickname, it must come natural.
I mean, his last name is Brown.
I mean, I'm all for Mr. Rusty Bottoms. But be that as it may, I guess the first thing we should do is probably go talk to this Tracy lady and see what she knows. Do you want me to scribble some rando shit on the back of this card? Okay. I will write her name on it in some weird font text that I can find on the internet and just trying to make it look the best I can in my own writing so it doesn't look like it's my writing. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to try to do it left-handed.
Okay.
Yeah. This game doesn't really have performance checks, so how do I want to do this?
I kind of feel like that would be a
Take a risk?
change the game, maybe.
I mean, I can, yeah.
Convince with the change the game.
I feel like it would be the convince presenting it. Changing the game, I think would be right because we're trying to manipulate and Worf into giving us yeah, I can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how I'm gonna apply stuff here. I'm gonna, let's see here. Have anything that applies?
Tell me what you see.
Right? I'll just go ahead and maybe get my... would you be okay with me adding my influential tag? Or do you want to keep that more of a conversational based?
I think that would be more conversational.
Okay, it's a straight roll. I mean, I really don't care as long as this is legible.
I mean, it's not like she's gonna know your handwriting anyway.
That is my first natural 12 in this game.
Cool, even better. I'll make a note of that.
I mean, I'm just saying she never met us doesn't know us from Adam. You could have just written it, and then I would have taken notes.
I mean, but
It looks real nice, though. I mean, it looks completely different.
let me
Like that
see.
movie Monkey Bone, where he draws
That's a
all
very
the
good movie.
Yeah, he draws all the disturbing shit right-handed. He draws cartoony, goofy
Oh
shit.
man, because it's a
left-handed.
straight roll, I get no juice.
That's right.
Bummer.
That's all right. You're kind of a kind of fellow. I don't think you handle.
Oh no,
the
I get
voids.
2. I get 2.
You get
I
two
do
no
get
matter
2
what.
juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You broke the threshold.
Yeah. So.
So, 2 juice or not 2 juice?
That is the question.
Now,
So what does this look like? Actually, you know what? No. So I basically handed it up to you. It looks like it's written in like, and I'm sitting there, just kind of like bob my head. I'm listening to music while I'm doing this, but I don't have any headphones in. So what you see is this weird script font like you would have seen on like old death metal and deathcore t-shirts, where it's like really like garbled, but you have to look at it for a minute. You're like, oh, I think I see what that says. Oh no, it definitely says that. I'm like, yeah, I like this. Well, that's done.
yeah, let's go say hey.
Cool beans. Let's go ahead and get in the car and shove off. Are we gonna be pulling into the alley?
Yeah, it doesn't take you all long. You find the area.
Sitting in the car in the alley.
What's the decor like? The people who are going in and out, what do they seem like?
You don't see anybody going in and out. When you pull into the alleyway, you see kind of a wall-mounted placard that's probably like 3 feet by 2 feet that says the Beacon on it. You don't think anything of it at first. It's neon, it's bright, it's glowing. Nobody else seems like there's a few people who walk down the alleyway and stuff while y'all are kind of sitting there. Nobody seems to look at it.
So,
Do they notice it? Like if I'm watching their body language, are they even having attention drawn to it?
Doesn't seem like it. There's a few of them that are like It's because the door is kind of down a stairway.
Okay.
The sign is almost at like right above somebody's head level, and you see people walk under it and like don't even duck or anything. They just, and it almost like just barely misses their hair.
Okay.
It's a confoundment charm from like them Harry Potter books.
I've never read nor seen any of those movies. You might actually have me on this, man.
Yeah, they put little whammy shit on stuff, so normal people just walk by and like, oh, I don't see anything.
Like a mist? Like a shroud?
Like a confinement charm. They just get all confuzzled and walk off. So, you wouldn't happen to put the beacon on the back of that card too? You know, something that would. Or do you do a quick little? No, never mind. I got this. I know somebody who knows somebody who told me where to find her. That's good. We're good.
While he's doing that, can I pull her up on like social and see if like it shows her like working? Come see me at. I'm making drinks. Blah blah blah.
Can't find her.
No social presence. Dekard, this lady has no social presence. In this day and age, that's highly weird.
I mean, not really. If you're working this shit, you probably keep your personal stuff personal.
I mean, to be fair, does Dekard have a social presence?
He's also a cranky old man.
Still, though.
I'm in my 40s. I'm not old.
He
Fuck
does
you.
have a Facebook.
I don't have a Facebook. I have a MySpace.
Oh man, you're that old. I can dig it. She has no social presence whatsoever, right? Okay. D, question for you. If we're not supposed to be affiliated or tied to MST in any regards, do we want to go in there and say that the police department hired us as URI and that we're doing this, or how do we want to handle this?
Let's keep it as off the books from official shit as we can.
How do you plan on doing that then?
We're client privilege, confidentiality. We don't have to tell her. Just we were looking for Jerome. That let us talk to some guys, told us where we could find her. Now we're here.
So we're just investigators playing the legality side. Don't share. Okay, that's easy. All right. Cool.
It's easy to act like you don't know nothing when you hardly know anything. So, yeah.
That works for me, man.
What time of day are we talking?
Let's see. Y'all did that kind of. So it's probably like sundown. It's still the same day.
I pull out, reach into the back, pull out a scarf and wrap it around my neck.
Okay.
Pull up a hood and have some sunglasses hanging off my jacket. If anyone asks, I got a migraine and the sniffles.
He looks at you for a minute. Maybe.
Am I doing a thing? Is it happening already?
Looking at him, do I see him starting to change?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm wondering if. Nah, maybe that's something we can try later. I don't know. Got a hoodie, got sunglasses on. Yeah, I mean, that works. Maybe we should go to like get you a mask or something.
Yeah, that's what the scarf's for, and I wrap it around my face. I got the sniffles, and I just don't want to. I'm afraid of catching a chill.
I reach in the glove box and pull out some napkins and some tissues and put them in his pocket. And I flick some water on his face.
You notice when the water hits his face, it kind of steams off.
Interesting.
The illusion is complete.
Before we go in there, there's something that I've been really curious about. We haven't really had a chance to talk, and seems like now is kind of good a time as any while we sit here.
Yes, I always assume my dick's bigger.
You know what happens? You make an assumption, my friend. You make an ass out of you and me, and then I just literally do that.
I mean, it's not opportune time for dick measuring because I'm about to turn into a giant 7-foot skeleton.
You're gonna be a big boner.
I mean, I suppose if you count femur size.
Sometimes you are funny, man.
I won't have any organs to compare.
Right. Let's go ahead and put this dick measuring contest aside, both literally and figuratively. What I was going to ask you is, what all did you find out about yourself while you were in this limbo area? Did you find anything out about where your power comes from, or who was giving you these abilities? Did you figure any of that out?
Do I remember the scales?
Yeah, you remember it.
Okay. I literally talked to, you know, when you go to the courthouse and you got that Lady Liberty and she's holding up the scales?
Yeah, like the scales of justice, yeah.
Yeah, I talked to the scales of justice.
But that...
in a like a sepia landscape.
So what I'm hearing is not really. I mean, like the scales themselves would represent justice, which makes sense. But you would be getting your ability from the person that would be holding these scales, theoretically.
I mean, unless the woman is like another person who had this power, and the scales are literally where she got her power from.
Like a relic?
No, like they are the thing, and that's just what they look like. And then this woman got that power and created in this world.
Why didn't you just ask?
I mean, they told me my wife, I had the chance of either bringing my wife back and letting her live out of contract, or ending the contracts and everyone just being dead. I was a little preoccupied.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I
So
don't know.
where's your
We had
wife
this
now?
conflict. Oh, she did. But if we stop this mofo, she comes back and lives out the rest of her contract.
So you do me, I do you kind of thing.
I mean, I probably wouldn't phrase it like that, but sure.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You do a favor for me, I'll do a favor for you.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, but by the by, if we get this right, all those people come back to life.
All those
They live
people
on borrowed time. Everyone who's had a contract that got cashed out early, they come back. They get to finish the terms of their contract.
Because the contracts were cut early?
That's it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So, kind of gets a little wide-eyed and looks at you, and I would be careful here, man. This seems like it's very personal, and I can understand that, but be very careful not to mix that with what's going on.
I mean, that's fair. But it's about stopping this jackass more than anything. Regardless of whatever people are making their contracts for, he is just going around killing people at this point.
Right, and I think that's the right mindset to have. I just, we've only been working together for maybe a month and a half, 2 months or so, somewhere around there. And I
could take a long nap.
Right. And I just want to be sure that if something happens and you have to make a tough decision, that you're going to think, globally, not personally.
I mean, so thus far, my judgment hadn't been in question, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
All right. I guess let's go talk to this Tracy lady.
All right.
So, you got the card and everything?
Yeah. I got it scribbled out there. It basically has her name on it, written in this rando death metal script because I like music. And it's got a bunch of question marks on it. Very much looks like I'm about to make the comparison. You know the ha 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 tattooed on Jared Leto's Joker, kind of like that.
Gross.
Yeah.
Who's Jared Leto?
Have you seen Fight Club?
No.
Have you seen? Forget it.
All right. So, we go in. Gonna go up to the bar. Sounds like beer 30 to me. How about you?
Oh yeah, man. I'll take a nice IPA if they got one. Appreciate it.
We'll have 2 domestics.
I heard that, you dick.
When you walk up to the door, there's a pretty big bouncer looking guy standing there. Kind of looks at you as you walk up and kind of looks you up and down and goes, "What's your business?"
I'm here to see Papa Midnight. Now get the fuck out my way.
Kind of looks at you for a minute. Looks to your partner. "What's your business?"
It's here for a drink, man.
"Sure this is a bar?"
That's what we were told.
I don't know what y'all are doing on my property, but y'all need to back off.
All right, just hold up your little card with the 2 rats in the dress and then move the fuck out the way.
While he's talking to him, I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, look, man, we're told this place was a bar. Just coming to have a drink. We're not here for no trouble or anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and roll. Let's see what I can do here. Am I lying to him? No. No. This will be convincing. $14.
Okay.
Or maybe 13. One of those 2.
Kind of looks at you, looks at your partner, and goes, since you put your hand on his shoulder, he goes, as you lean in, he goes, "Can you see the sign?"
I mean the sign of this bar that says the Beacon? 100%.
Takes his hand, opens the door, and lets you in, closes it behind you, and stands in front of the door again and goes, "Now what do you want?"
I told you, I'm here to meet Papa Midnight.
I send Dekard a text on his phone and say you saw the sign, and my guess is this is something specifically for people like us, and I send it.
I hear my phone beep and I ignore it.
Okay.
You want let me in? Have my little meeting with old Papa Midnight.
He's got a little cooler sitting beside him. He reaches down, he pops open the cooler, he pulls out essentially just a tall beer and grabs it like from out of like it almost looks like he grabs it out of nowhere, but he reaches over to the other side of the door and grabs like a folding chair, pops it out and sets it down in front of the door and leans back on the door and goes,
I lean in and look at him and go, has the sun gone down yet?
"Still not quite down. It's starting to, but it's not quite there."
Lean down and say, "You sure you want to ride in the rodeo right now?"
"Oh, you're gonna be one of those, are you? That's fine." He reaches down in his pocket, pulls out his cell phone and starts punching in a number. "Hi, yes. This is Gerardo Suhei. Yeah, I know I call a lot. I'm sorry. I don't know why people keep bothering me. I got a dude down here on my doorstep again. I'm just out here trying to enjoy some of the last little bit of that cool evening breeze, and he comes over and starts talking some random crap about a pop at midnight. And I don't know. Can you come pick him up, please? I think he's drunk. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, so you called the cops, did you? All right. Pull up my phone. I look at the text. Man, fuck his stupid sign. And then I say that out loud, and then I call dispatch. Hey, who all's working tonight? Who you got near the Clover House? Koval House?
Clover House. We have let's see. It looks like
I'm sorry, it's Culver House. My bad.
Culver House. Oh, Culver House. Okay. Yeah. Schmitty's over there and Pete's over there.
You mind having them pop on by? I'm pretty sure I just saw this guy selling drugs to kids. Thought
Yeah.
maybe we can get this wrapped up real quick.
What's the address?
And I give him the address.
Okay. Culver House and hey. Okay. Yeah, we'll send somebody over.
I just looks at him and says, "Yeah, we'll see whose friends show up first." By the way, your sign should be a little bit higher so it doesn't fuck with people.
Kind of smirks whenever you say your sign. He just waits. It's probably like 20 minutes or so. Inside, you're like, man, what is taking him so long?
Just for funsies, I'm gonna say I'm 2 beers deep already.
Okay. Knowing that how he is and everything, you're like, here we go.
Yeah, no, I can just imagine. I'm just like,
It's probably like 20 minutes, and a couple cops show up, and it's 2 guys that you don't recognize. They walk up and they go, Mr. Suhei, what seems to be the problem, sir? He's like, he stands up and folds his chair up and leans it against the door. And he's like, this guy came up. He's talking. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I pull up my investigator's badge and I show it to him like, oh, I'm sorry. I was told to meet somebody here and I saw this gentleman, what I think was an illegal drug deal. And I've merely just been sitting here trying to talk to him.
They both look at each other and they look at Mr. Suhei and they go, how's the wife? Oh, she's fine. She's fine. How's the kids? Oh, did Billy get over his pneumonia? Oh yeah, he's fine. He's fine. It cleared up about a week ago. All right. Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to leave the premises.
No.
Sir, if you do not vacate the premises, we will be forced to detain you for...
On what charges? For standing here? Talking to somebody who is blocking a door where my partner went in. Has been gone for about 20 minutes.
They both kind of look at each other. They look at Mr. Day. He goes, hey, he just walked up and started asking me these weird questions, and I don't have a clue what's going on.
All right, that's fair. Maybe I'm just some crazy man walked up. Why don't you ask him to let you in that door so you can see if I get a friend in there waiting?
He goes,
been gone about 20 minutes or so.
Grabs the chair, pulls the chair off to the side, opens the door, and he's like, dude, it's just my house. And inside you see it's just a house. Like it's just a basement kind of condo, and it's like it's pretty bare. Like there's some high windows, but there's nothing in there.
When he opens the door, do we see it open from inside?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
All right, then you don't mind I go look around because my friend definitely walked in this door. Officers,
Officers, can you stop this man, please? He's been here for nearly half an hour. I just like him off my property. The officers kind of look at each other and go, "Sir, we're gonna ask you one more time, politely, to leave."
I'm gonna turn around and change the game on him.
Go for it. Do it. Do something.
I'm gonna use flame manipulation. Has it finally? Am I gone monstrous yet?
You can feel it starting to set in.
I'm gonna go.
Like you can feel your clothes starting to get tight and everything.
I'm gonna pull down the shades and do a little flame manipulation. Give me fire eyes, and as this skin starts to melt away to the skeletal, and be like, "I think it's time you boys went back to whatever the fuck you were doing."
Cool. As you do this, you start to go ahead and roll for it. Let's see what happens, because this is I gotta see what happens here.
9.
9. Okay. Pick your thing.
All right. I'm gonna go with create a story tag.
Okay. What kind of story tag?
Let's see. Story tag. I think I'm I don't know. What would be a good story tag here? Ooh, I don't know if this will count as a story tag. Can I reach out and poke one of the guys on the shield and then like scratch and melt part of the shield? Like melt the police's badge a little bit as a story tag?
I got you. So the sun is just set. The essentially the bouncer doesn't have a clue what's going on with it yet. Hasn't seen anything. And as the police officers start to kind of close in on you and everything, your true form comes out at night. You start to grow into this giant skeletal being. You reach out and poke this police officer in the chest and kind of push him backwards on the badge, and the badge just kind of melts into slag, and he goes, oh. So yeah, you have a story tag right now. You're monstrous for a while.
Okay.
The bouncer goes, oh shit, and turns around and walks inside and closes the door behind him.
Do the police skedaddle away?
Oh yeah, they ran back to the car at this point. You see one of them he's just kind of backpedaling to the car. He grabs his mic and goes, we need backup down on Culber House and 8th.
I mean, that might be problematic in a bit. And I walk over and politely knock on the door.
You don't hear anything on the other side.
Come on, I have to pass your damn test now. Open the fuck up.
Kyle, on the inside, you see the bouncer kind of run in and shut the door and lock 3 different locks.
Walk over, grab another beer on my way over, hand him a beer. Where the fuck is that idiot that I came here with?
That idiot you came here with is gonna be a problem.
What? Hang on, let me try to compose myself. Finish off the beer. What seems to be a problem?
Well, that idiot apparently didn't know protocol. Had to call him to have the police to have him removed from the premises because he wasn't going to leave. He didn't know password to get in. On top of that, he called his own police force, didn't show up, and then once they get here, he assaults the police. He won't be joining us tonight.
I hand him the beer and say, come here for a minute, man. I'm just gonna level with you, dude. I'm on the job. And then I kind of pull him over into the corner for a private conversation. And I'm like, look, and I show him my badge for URI. And then I'm like, exactly know what or who this represents, but we found this card on this site where we are looking for somebody who is now deceased. I don't want to let that name out because it hasn't hit the press yet, but we found a body, and near this body we found this card, and I show him the Joker card. And after, doing some research and hunting around, and me with my capabilities, I was able to find, and I flipped the card over and I point to the girl's name on the back of it. I was able to find that that this girl works here, and we just had a couple questions for her. Now, I do not know exactly why my friend decided to handle things the way he did, but he hired me. I'm with him. That's my partner. He might be a moron and a little overzealous at times and hot-headed. However, that's the reason why we're here. He also has abilities.
Obviously.
Right.
May I?
The
Hold
card.
his hand out for the card. Yeah.
I kind of look at him and say, "You're gonna give this back, right?"
I'll have it delivered.
Delivered to.
He kind of points to the back of the card.
I touch my phone in my pocket, and I'm going to basically copy the image from the actual thing and make like a JPEG on my phone, front and back.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll make a deal with you. You open that door and let my friend in here. I give you my word that he's not going to be a complete nutbag, and then I'll hand you the card. And if you want me to roll convince,
We'll retrieve your friend for you.
deal. Hand him the beer, hand him the card.
He takes the card. He holds up he looks at it, turns it over, looks at the back, and goes. Snaps 3 times and motions. Gentleman in a nice vest, suit, shirt, no overcoat, slacks, nice shoes, comes over with a little tray, and he's like, says, "For the missus," and sets it down on the tray, and he goes, kind of bows and walks off with it on the tray. You see him go into a back room somewhere before you lose sight of him. Bouncer turns to you and looks at you and says, "Appreciate it. Name's Gerardo. Sure you already caught that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Bye.
Make yourself comfortable. Have a good night. We'll come get you when your friend's here."
Just have a seat somewhere.
Sure. Looking around the bar that you're a couple in and everything, you notice, whenever you first came in, you were kind of watching the door and kind of just having a drink, not really paying attention. And now that you're kind of relaxed a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, they're gonna go get him and bring him in." You notice there's a lot of stuff going on in this bar. Over in the different corners, over in different places, you see people doing all manner of things, from stirring their drinks without using hands to making drinks out of thin air to doing just any manner of stuff.
I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, man, this is like a movie. Sit there for a minute and kind of realize at this point that I'm living the life of a comic book character, and kind of just my buzz stoop a little bit, and I'm just vibing, man. I'm just taking it in.
My knock has become more insistent the longer I stand here.
Flipping back to Dekard. Yeah, there's no answer on the door.
That's just slowly building up to becoming a punch.
As you're getting more into your monstrous form and just slowly hitting the door and it being a little stronger, eventually it's like you hit it hard enough that you hear a pop and it starts to slowly swing. Inside the door, you don't see anything. It's just a general building. There's some kind of living residence.
Reach in, pull the door shut, and just proceed to start knocking again.
As you're standing there knocking, the 2 officers that were there have now retreated behind their cop car, have both their pistols pointed at you, and one of them's shouting into the radio, and the other one's just sitting there shaking with his gun pointed at you. At this point, you've pretty much ripped out of your clothes and are just standing this monstrous, hulking skeleton guy.
Well, shit, this seems unfortunate. I look down the street to the cops and go, you guys wouldn't happen to have an extra jacket, would you?
About that time, there's a couple more cars that pull up. You notice the one that's coming from your right, further up 8th Street, shows up, and it's Smitty and Pete, and you're like, oh. You realize that you gave them the wrong street. And the street that you gave them is like 3 streets up.
Before they can get in, I call them on the phone like, hey, I'm dealing with this situation over here. Your friend seemed a little freaked out by something. Just a big misunderstanding. Maybe you can tell them to buzz off.
As they, like, you're on the phone, like, Dekard? Yeah, if something's going on, man, we get there. We'll see what we can do for you. They get there and they're like, where's Dekard? And then they see you and they're like, oh shit. Oh, call in more backup. And they both get out and one of them grabs the shotgun that they have there and like points it at you. And everybody's just trained on you at this point.
Did you guys, like, did you drive through a busted gas line or something? Y'all are acting real strange for just little old Dekard sitting here.
Another cop car shows up and a couple minutes later, and it's same thing. Like, you hear more sirens off in the distance, and every time somebody shows up, they're like, we need more. Send everybody. Send SWAT. It's probably like they're all sitting there trained on you, waiting for anything to happen, and nobody wants to make a move, and you're just like, okay. And then everybody, you notice they all start to kind of nod off, and then they all just kind of lean against their vehicles. Gentleman in a very nice suit walks around the corner and goes, I see there was a problem.
Yeah, a mass narcolepsy.
He's like very much a tailored suit, and his hair is like perfectly combed to perfect part, and every hair is in its perfect spot. He's tall. He's probably like 6'3", 6'4", very slim. And he goes, see, you were trying to get into the beacon.
I was. And the doorman was a dick.
We have a certain protocol.
And at no point did he explain anything. He just proceeded with being a dick.
Which means that you and your partner were not invited by anybody, any of our patrons.
I mean, that's fair, but he could
He
have
holds
just
up
said,
his hand.
this is a club of invitation.
Snaps his fingers twice. Boys, from almost like inside of him, one man kind of walks through him. You feel yourself start to get weak and you start to feel smaller before you eventually just kind of nod off as well. And as you start to fade out, you feel 2 hands on your shoulders.
Oh hell, it's the 70s all over again.
Back inside, it's been probably 15 minutes since you had the conversation with the bouncer out front.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back up to you and says, they're ready for you now. This way. He points toward
Where is my compadre?
He's waiting for you downstairs. You just missed him come in. You follow me.
Don't believe that, right?
It's up to you.
I'm like, whoa. You said that you would come get me once my friend was here. So,
I'm coming to get you now that your friend is here.
if you don't mind, I'd like to see him before I go down there.
He's already downstairs.
Send him up, and then I'll walk down with the both of yous. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I think you're lying to me, and you're not doing a good job of it.
Suit yourself. He takes off and starts walking downstairs.
I call Dekard.
No answer.
Look at my phone. Do I even have signal in here?
Yeah, you have signal.
But he doesn't answer his phone?
No answer. Seems like pretty Dekard behavior.
I'm gonna go to the door and open the door that I came in.
That you can't. You see the alleyway in front of you.
Poke my head out.
Looks clear.
Do I see the car and everything?
No, everything's gone. Everything looks clear.
Does it look like the same alley? No, our car. Is it still parked?
Oh, your car. Yeah, yeah. You still see it parked back up the alleyway on to one side. You don't see Dekard anywhere. You don't see anybody anywhere. It's just an empty alleyway.
I'll close the door. Bite my lip. Fuck! I'm gonna regret this. And then I'll just walk towards where the bouncer was headed.
Okay. As you walk downstairs, it gets really dark. Like it's kind of, they have little running lights for each stair to keep it to where you can see the stairs, but outside of that you can't really see anything. It takes, like, it feels like it's probably 3 or 4 stories down before you finally hit a clearing. There's a little awning and goes, "Hey, thanks for joining me. I didn't know if you were coming or not." And opens the door up, and inside there's this, it's pretty bright and everything. You walk through, and after your eyes adjust, you see essentially a fighting ring with Dekard in the middle of it, full hulked out monstrous skeleton form.
Am I awake?
Is he conscious? Yeah.
He's kind of sitting down on a stool off in one corner with his head down, not having eyes or anything. It's hard to tell if he's awake. You're assuming he's awake, but you're not sure. By his posture, he may not be entirely awake. He's waking up at this point, essentially.
And is he inside the cage?
Yes.
All right. Well, what is my buddy? I mean, let's be real. Who's my friend fighting, and why is he fighting?
Well, obviously, he could see the signs. So, as he says this, he kind of steps in behind you and shuts the door. If he wins, cool, y'all can stay. If he doesn't, you're next.
Next for what? Dude.
You're the next fight. Y'all weren't invited, so you have to earn it.
I can respect that. Dekard, on the other hand, oh man, I need another beer for this.
You do notice off on the other side of the door, there's a glass one-way, essentially a one-way mirror up high, where it's kind of like a balcony, but it has a one-way mirror where somebody can watch.
Can I see through it?
No.
What if I want to see unnaturally?
How?
Using my abilities with being able to manipulate and basically be able to make the shape out of the person's body by being able to track the iron in their blood with the amount of bioelectricity that their body's pumping out.
Yeah. The room is yeah, as you reach out, as you look around, everybody in the area, but that room is almost like a black spot.
So it's kind of just like blacked out.
Like you can't feel anything inside of the room.
Does it feel like it's being like voided like I have been before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Like there's distinctly like another,
like a barrier.
Like your abilities are pushing up against something that they can't push through.
So he fights, he wins, we're good. He fights, he loses, I'm in, I fight. At which point are we going to be able to speak to this This Tracy. Is that what we're earning, essentially? The right to speak to her?
Somebody wins, one of you two wins your fight. Y'all are welcome here. If she wants to speak to you, she'll let us know.
Does she run this joint?
You'd have to ask her.
I'll take that as a yes. All right. Well, let me get a spot. Let me get a beer. And maybe somebody will finally knock some sense into this asshole.
As you're waking up, you notice that you're in a room that's very red. Like the lights haven't shifted yet. Like it's pretty normal lit, and you look around and you're inside of the, like, the first thing you see as you start to open your eyes is the chain link, and you're like, what? You start waiting a little more. You notice that you're like inside of a building, and essentially you're in a fighting ring inside of a building, but the ring goes all the way to the ceiling. And you're like, what's going? You look down and you see that you're all boned out, and you're like, crap.
I mean, am I in a cage, or am I like the octagon is fenced in?
Octagon is the cage.
Okay.
But it's floor to ceiling, essentially.
I look at the nearest person to the chain link fence around me and go, I gotta fight.
They go, you're in the ring.
Yeah, how does this work? Do I get to pick who I get to fight, or is there some rando in here?
They kind of look at you and go, and grab their drink and start drinking again and start talking to the person that they're with.
So it's a club of dickheads. All right. That's it.
It's, you finally get up and like wake up enough to be able to stand up and like kind of feel yourself out, and everything starts feeling normal again.
I look around. Do I see Kyle?
Yeah, he's sitting over in one corner. Like he's sitting over at a table.
Start getting one of these.
Do I see him waving?
Yeah.
Go ahead and walk over.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
What the hell did you do this time?
I was... Oh. All right, look. We're going to talk about this professionalism. We don't get drunk on the job.
I'm not drunk. I'm just buzzed.
You're a little slurred to you, but anyway. I was being...
Wait a minute. Pot calling the kettle much? You're going to talk about me about having a couple of drinks while I'm here at a bar, while you're outside raising holy hell. Getting put in a situation where you got to fight somebody. But continue. I'll let you go ahead.
I just stood there and knocked on the door ever so politely, and when my knock popped the door open, I shut the door and went back to knocking. I didn't do a damn thing.
Dekard D, buddy. You're so full of shit. Your eyes that are usually fire are brown. Anyways.
Is that 100% incorrect? I'm an innocent victim in this. I told a couple cops they were in the wrong place to go away. That's it. I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I might have started to look like this when I told them to fuck off. So,
why didn't you...
I did not actively do anything.
Like, you could have said that you saw the sign and you would have...
I did. Dickhead still wouldn't let me in.
Mm-hmm. I still don't believe him. Well, we're here now, so...
Yeah. So, I got told that I got to fight. That's about all I got. What do you got? What's going on?
Well, the reason you're fighting is because I've been told you handled yourself the exact opposite from how you're telling me. And in my experience, I mean, I might likely to believe it. However, the reason you're here is because, realistically, we were not invited here. And this is a club or sorts for special people.
It's a club of dickheads.
Mm-hmm. So, you're going to have to fight to essentially earn respect. And then maybe if you win, we can ask some questions. And if you lose, then I have to fight. And then if I lose, then I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I might take a dive. I would love to watch you get your ass whooped a little bit.
I mean, likewise.
I'm a skeleton. What are they gonna hit me with?
A stiff breeze might take you out.
I mean, I still feel like I weigh a couple 100 pounds of bone here. Do I have like any clothes on, or is it just like?
No, you're in there you're full bone, man.
We're gonna have to figure out this clothing situation.
As you look around, you notice that nobody is hiding their stuff. Like you see different people, everything from like there's a minotaur off in one corner to little darts of light that you assume are some type of faithful to anything and everything you can think of. There's something represented here.
So we have to figure out this clothing situation because I can't be walking around with a giant skeleton. Ooh, we get a handcart. I could be some prop that you just don't know where the hell to deliver, and you could just drag my ass around on a handcart.
I like it. Maybe we can make some money off of it in Halloween times.
That's right.
You could like scare the kids.
Yeah, trick or treating is gonna be real fun because we're gonna get all the candy. They're gonna open the door, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey," and they're gonna be like, "Shit," literally and figuratively, and drop their candy.
I think that's funny. And then when I say that's funny, I'm going to go ahead and burn my 2 juice. I'm going to create 2 story tags for you. I'm going to increase your monstrosity to another one. So whatever it is tier you were at before, you're now going to be tier 2. And I'm going to create another one with it that's going to give you, I don't know, like bone claws or talons or something like that. They're temporary tags until the scene's over.
How?
Because that's what juice does.
Yes, but how?
By burning my juice.
Yes, but how?
I'll go ahead and, on a molecular level, I will go ahead and adjust the stuff that is holding his bones together to warp and manipulate those and make him bigger.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Let's see how this works out.
7.
7. You,
Make him more monstrous and...
I'll say you can either make him tougher, like
Okay.
his bones are denser,
Okay.
or you can make him essentially a +1 to defense or a +1 to offense.
Well, I'm trying to give him both because I have 2 juice points.
Right, but with a 7.
So then I would have to roll twice then.
That's what I'm saying. Like a 7 is you succeed, but there's a downside, so it's one or the other. Since it's not a 10 or above, it's not the full success. It's kind of in the middle.
Then... Wait a minute. Actually, no, I can't even do that because I did that on an investigation. This won't do anything. I can't even do this. Spend your juice at any point, but it has to be representative of the rate in which you gained them. I did on an investigation check.
Nah, that's why I had you roll. Change
Well,
the
then
game.
I'll make them stronger.
Make him okay. So +1 to any attacks. Yeah, you add a couple spikes to his knuckles and his shins and things, and then you increase the density of the bone in just that area.
Are you fucking with my skeleton?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, so you were trying to do something like this, and I take my left hand and turn it into a bone sword.
Yeah, but now you have a bonus bone sword.
I mean, I got spiky knuckles, but now I have a bone sword too, so... Don't be using your shit on me without talking to me about it. That just felt weird.
I just walk away and sit down and say, I hope he gets his ass beaten.
It's probably 5 minutes or so, and you see everybody starting to like whisper and stuff and start exchanging glances, and this woman, like a couple women walk up with this person in a full cloak, cowl, everything down and everything. They open a little door on the side. They let this person in. They shut the door and walks over opposite of Dekard and takes it off and sets it down on the floor. And it's just this probably like 5'2", 120 pounds soaking wet woman in essentially what looks like fighting gear.
Hi. I'm Dekard.
Good luck. And as she takes off the cloak and everything, you hear everybody in the crowd start to whisper, and if you hear woos and everything else, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is about to kick off.
Okay. Are there any particular rules like death is to be avoided, or
As you start to ask, this gentleman from outside the ring kind of walks around the ring in a circle with a microphone and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else here, thank you for joining us tonight. Seems like we had some people who were not invited tonight who want to earn their keep. So let's see what they got." And everybody's just, "Oh, yeah, whatever." "Sir, bony guy, what's your name?" He kind of holds the mic up toward the cage.
it doesn't really play? I get into the flat stare, but with no skin, it doesn't really work.
Right.
Dekard.
"We got Dekard. All right. And then the other side, we have our lady of the night, our one and only. You love her. You always wait for her to come back. The Countess."
I'm fighting a prostitute. I don't know how I feel about this.
Looks at you and goes, starts doing some stretching and everything.
I would stretch, but it feels like it would be just for show, as I don't have ligaments or musculature.
As you start to say something, she just lunges at you with a right hook.
I'm going to sidestep and try and catch whatever appendage she has tried to punch me with.
Sure.
Is it at toe to toe?
Yeah.
Ready.
Give me just a second.
And if I succeed on the grab, I want to try and drain her life out of her.
Okay.
Ooh, that's 11 before anything gets added.
11 before bonuses?
Yep.
Don't choose the second pose. So you choose. So, okay. What's your bonuses? I know you got a +1.
I have
From
combat training.
Kyle. It's +2.
And then if life siphon counts into this roll.
No, it'll
Okay.
come in the second part because it's a 2-part action. You have the defensive
three.
part, and then you have your offensive. You'd have to roll again on that part.
No, he's going toe to toe. Essentially, she swung, so he's going toe to toe instead of taking the hit and trying to do that. He's just going to try to counter.
Yeah. So I guess it'd be +2.
Yeah, it'd be +2. So,
Or
given
I'm sorry,
opponent's
+3.
status with tier equal to their power. Yeah. So you sidestep her, or you backpedal just a little bit, and you feel the cage against your back. She kind of swings short. You reach out and you grab her arm, and she kind of swings through, and you grab that arm, and you start trying to pull from her, and she just kind of grins at you. You don't pull anything from her, but there is a kind of a charred mark on her arm now. When you do that, she takes the opportunity, and she just is gone into a puff.
Is the floor like a mat, or is
Lava?
it like dirt?
Floor's lava.
The floor is lava. I'm cool with it.
No, it's just a mat.
Okay. I want to try and look for little ripples of like her moving.
Yeah, you don't
Or-
see any kind of impressions on the mat anywhere or anything.
Okay.
Whenever she poofed, there is this kind of a cloud of gas in the air.
I look toward the announcer, like just a real quick glance. She a damn vampire.
The announcer doesn't say anything.
Of course not.
You notice the clouds it hasn't really dissipated or anything. But it's been moving both around you and then also up above, and it's just kind of up above you in more or less up high in the cage at this point.
I'm gonna take a deep breath and then try and attack the cloud of mist with I want to try and project flames out of my mouth with flame manipulation.
I mean, you can try.
Like, I want to pull the heat from the air around me to create fire.
Ooh, that's...
Wouldn't that be like a lighthearted stop holding back? Because
Yeah.
it's within his realm.
It's within the realm, but it's not something...
It's not one of his true power things. Yeah, I would say that would be right.
Yeah, because manipulation is more of a, if there is a fire source, because heating the air up to combustion is huge.
Okay. So
Yeah,
stop holding back.
Yeah.
Yay, first one!
9 before bonuses. So, say it's +2. We'll do it, combat training because I'm still fighting, and then flame manipulation. So 11.
So when you roll the stop holding it back, it's the roll plus however many logos you have. It doesn't take the power tags.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah. So it'd be...
Probably
you rolled a 9,
should be two.
it'd be 11.
Yeah, it's still 11.
And at this
How does
point,
this work?
Mr.
MC will tell
MC
you to
decides how he wants to
sacrifice.
handle it.
Yep.
You can use any powers in new and never before ways or scale. Tell the MC what you hope to achieve. The MC will tell you what sacrifice it will take to achieve and pay the price. Oh, okay. So for that, I didn't realize that. Had to have told you before. So for that being said, I'll just say that it was significant.
Okay.
So yeah, so you succeed, and you'll mark fade on your judgment.
Okay.
Just one, not many.
Okay.
Yeah, you release this gout of, like, you pull into yourself, and like you feel yourself starting to go dark a little bit. You open your mouth, and you use this gout of fire toward this just viscous gas cloud in the cage. As it engulfs this cloud, you hear this horrible screech. Just the gas.
That was
creak.
so weird. I could hear it from your
Twice?
room,
Yeah.
and I heard it
Like
peak.
It cut
Nice.
off on your mic, and then I heard it
Picked up
from
through
his.
his. The gas recoalesces into the shape of a woman, and she just like falls to the ground and just bounces on the mat, just kind of charred. And everybody goes,
I'm like, yeah, that's a new one. That's new.
You see the announcer kind of standing there like, and then he collects himself and goes, hey, medic, help. She needs some help. Somebody get her some help. A couple people rush in, open the door, and rush in to help her and everything.
Arms across the chest, just leaning on the chain link, like, yep.
And I guess we have our answer. Oh gosh, let me think. Yeah, I can't think of one. Just trying to think of some way to combine the bone with the fire and give you like this little title kind of thing. But I can't. And he goes, Dekard Bone Daddy, everybody.
I'm
They
sitting
just
there,
leave-
and I'm like, oh man, he's totally Spinal from Killer Instinct now.
He just like they leave the cage open after they help her out and everything. Bouncer
I look
kind of.
at
The
the
announcer.
announcer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I look at the announcer like, really? Bone Daddy? The Heartburner, maybe?
Fine, don't worry about it. They won't remember. You can
Man.
change it later.
All right, I walk out.
The announcer kind of walks over to Kyle and goes, well, that was interesting. Give me a couple minutes and we'll see what the owner has to say in a minute, and if she wants to talk to you, we'll come back for you. We'll let you know before you leave, though. Y'all enjoy yourself. If you have
Sounds
any
good,
questions,
thanks.
y'all enjoy yourself. If you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, real quick. Was she a vampire?
Something like that. Don't worry about it.
All right. She gonna be all right? Because I mean,
She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
I've roasted her chestnuts, if you know what I'm saying.
Shay's always had a preference for new blood.
Tried to tap the wrong well. Because it works on 2 levels. Because I ain't got no blood, and I won.
As you say this, he just kind of like, he kind of waves his hand behind him as he walks off. You see him walk to the others. So the door that you came in from, Kyle, straight in front of it is the ring, and then straight behind that is the kind of viewing balcony, right?
Mm-hmm.
He walks to the left of the viewing balcony to a little door, opens it, closes it behind him, and you assume it leads up to the viewing balcony. Y'all hang out. It's probably like by the time the fight happened, it would be like around 10, 11, maybe midnight. Y'all hang out for the rest of the night. They starting to close up shop, and everybody starts leaving. It gets pretty empty, and then they're like, "Yeah, you two come on back." You notice that Dekard is starting to like his bone structure is starting to shape back down and start to shrink back down at this point.
Hey, Dekard, you're kind of naked, man.
I look down. Not yet, but I'm getting there.
As you get to the door,
I grab a beer real quick. I'm like, tell me what happens, and I start.
Oh
drinking.
yeah, I get excited when I see him drink it. Does it like do the cartoon thing?
no, it's just gone. Like it pretty much goes into a black hole somewhere.
I'm like, dude, that's so lame. I thought I'd see like the liquid like fall in and like fill his stomach's not there. That was whack, dude. It just disappeared.
I mean, that's still pretty. It disappeared, man. That's
Yeah,
still
but
pretty damn cool.
I was like thinking about like some Hollow Man type shit, you know?
But like, you want to see me like piss myself?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Anyway,
As you get to the door, there's a gentleman there, and he has these. It's the gentleman that you had seen outside in the very nice suit and everything. He holds up. He has essentially a tied up bundle of clothes, and he holds it out to Mr. Deck, and he says, "These appear to be in your size."
I mean, but which one? Apparently, I have 2 of them.
And he holds up his hand and like pulls the watch up and goes, "Give it about an hour. They'll fit."
All right. Thank you.
As they lead, like he opens the door and lets y'all in, and it's the same. It's set up the same way as where Kyle had come in. Stairway with a little awning area right where you are that leads up to the balcony room with another door.
So
Did you see that? I breathed fire. That was a little unexpected. It was worth a shot, right?
yeah, no, that was a new one. Is that something you can do like all the time or what?
You know, I don't have any fucking idea. I wasn't even like, I literally just pulled the heat out the air, and I thought, let's give that a shot.
That's cool.
I
Like,
thought she was a vampire.
so you can only manipulate, right? Like you can't create. Is that right?
As far as I know.
Oh, that's a bummer. And I kind of sit there and I look at my hand and look for a minute, and I just start to kind of I make this cute little like ballroom dancing couple in my hand, just dancing around in electricity.
But I mean, like, combo idea. He reaches into your pocket and starts digging around for like a dollar bill. I ain't got no pockets, man. Sorry.
What do you need $1 for?
Let me see $1 real quick.
Okay, get your hands out of there. Wait, a little to the left. Yeah. All right, here's a $1. What? All right.
All right.
What?
Now make your little ballroom dancing scene again.
Sit there and kind of look at it for a minute, like I
That's
shift.
I stick the dollar in to try and light it on fire.
As he does it, I'm gonna turn down like the amp so it's only producing the electricity, but it's not producing any heat. So it's
For what?
only... I'm just fucking with him.
Never mind.
Turn down for what? I got you. I got you. And I'm like, oh look, there's no fire. Bummer.
You're a real dick sometimes, you know that. I also hold up my knuckles like, when does this go away? This feels weird on the side.
When does what go away? It's already gone. It's only good for
Is
a
it?
scene. Mhm.
Okay.
As you get up to the door at the top of the stairs, Dekard, you're back to your normal self.
I put on the shirt first.
You're Donald Duckin.
I'm-
I love that expression.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this had happened.
I point down. I was like, bro, I see your wiener.
Who's in the room?
As you walk in, essentially it looks like a museum. The whole room is full of glass cases, both standing on tables, and like each wall except for the viewing wall is covered with glass cases. Inside the glass cases is everything from a piece of string to a shield to a sword to a book to an oil lamp. Anything and everything you can think of. It looks like just this random collection of junk, but it's every wall except for the viewing wall, and pretty much all of the movement or all of the space is covered with these things.
The stuff
on the
that's in these like these glass cases like on display, are they putting off any type of like essence or aura or energy that maybe I can sense?
Not that you can feel. You can't feel anything in this room. Like there's no energies coming from this room at all.
Do we feel like it's in a void?
Yeah, 100%.
So I want to go like this real quick and look at my hand and try to make a spark on the tip of my finger.
Roll for it.
Actually, better yet, because I want to make this more incognito. I want to... If there's lights in here, I want to make one flicker.
Okay.
Like power surge.
It takes away my joke.
9. 9? 9. 9. 9. Yeah, 9.
Yeah. As you reach out to do it, you can feel the electricity flowing through the lights and everything. Like it's there, it's faint, but you can feel it because it's essentially the halogen lights. They don't take much. It's just energetic particles going back and forth. As you start to do it, you feel your whole hands start to go weak and kind of numb, and you realize that, hey, I can't do this in here. And she goes, gentlemen, it would behoove you not to do these kinds of things while you're in this room. You notice her on the other side of the desk on the far side of the room. She still has, she's kind of reading a book, so she's halfway turned, and from the profile, you don't quite recognize her. She finishes the page while you guys are walking up and closes the book, sets it down, and turns around.
Do what?
She's saying this, she's closing the book. She says, your abilities. That's why you were back to normal, and the sun is still not up. And she looks up at you and goes, Lance? Dekard, it's your wife.
What? How do you know him? Wait a minute. Do I recognize it from her from photos?
Yes.
Dekard, why is your wife here?
That is a damn fine question that hopefully Carla is going to answer.
And that's something that we'll pick up next time.
Nice.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support since we've moved to YouTube. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, and we'll figure out what's going on with Carla and whether or not it actually is Carla, and maybe get some answers on that, because
spooky
fun stuff. But until
then, same bone channel, same bone time.
Thank you. We love you.
Henceforth, we're calling these streams boner time.
Check out the Discord and check out the new video that we put up today, and the video
it's a good one.
Weeks, and we're gonna have more coming. But until then,